Be my audience. Outline. Verbal citations. Good afternoon. My name is Woodrow Swanson. Feeling a little bit under the weather today, so I'm going to try to get through the speech by any means necessary. It's funny that I used a quote by any means necessary because that quote was made famous by my topic subject of the speech, which is going to be Brother Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a transformative figure whose journey from troubled youth to influential leader dramatically reshaped civil rights advocacy and famously asserting justice by any means necessary. Today I'll inform you about Brother Malcolm X. There are three main ideas of Malcolm X that I'm going to touch on. First is going to be his early life and struggles. Next, I'll explore his influence within the Nation of Islam and its turmoil. And finally, I'll address his assassination. First, let me share Malcolm X's early life and some of the struggles. Here's a photo of Brother Malcolm as a youth. Malcolm was born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska, to Earl and Louise Little. He was the fourth of 7 children that they bore. Malcolm X's father was a minister who was heavily influenced by Marcus Garvey. He regularly preached black empowerment, which caused trouble in the community, mainly with the KKK, leading to harassment and death threats, which led to them to move from Omaha, Nebraska to Wisconsin and finally Michigan, where his father was mysteriously found dead, but was never proven that he was murdered. Due to his father's death, his mother was eventually institutionalized in a mental institution, and Malcolm was placed into foster care. Malcolm bounced around from foster home to where he finally ended up living in Boston, and where he got involved in crime. James Cone, in the Encyclopedia of African American Culture and History, noted that Malcolm X, known as Detroit Red, deeply involved in crime, eventually was sentenced to prison, marking a significant turning point in his life. We have a photo of his mugshot. Brother Malcolm was convicted of burglary in 1946 and sentenced to prison. While in prison, he dedicated himself to self-improvement and education, and eventually converted to the Nation of Islam, where he met the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Next, I'll discuss Malcolm's influence within the Nation of Islam. Malcolm was tasked with building multiple mosques throughout all the major cities throughout the United States. Ted Ritter, writing in the American government's highlighted that Malcolm X was instrumental in expanding the Nation of Islam's membership dramatically from 500 to over 30,000 due to his exceptional charisma and speaking ability. We have a photo here of him speaking at one of the rallies. With his becoming of his notoriety, became jealousy and envy within the nation, leading to his separation later on down the line, also with moral conflicts due to charges brought up against the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for sexual assault between himself and a secretary. Finally, I'll speak about his tragic assassination. Malcolm X was assassinated on February 21st, 1965 by members of the Nation of Islam. Michael O'Neill emphasized in the Encyclopedia of Race and Racism that Malcolm X's assassination at the hands of the Nation of Islam members dramatically highlights civil rights issues and significantly enhanced his status as an enduring symbol for racial equality. And here we have a photo of his funeral. Despite his controversial reputation, Malcolm X's legacy evolved into one of empowerment and pride with the African American culture. His philosophies continue to be profoundly influenced discussions about race, religion, and social injustice. Well, and that completes my introduction of some of Brother Malcolm's key life moments, starting with his early life struggles, his influence within the Nation of Islam, and finally his tragic assassination. Malcolm X remains a pivotal figure in American history, a constant reminder of ongoing pursuit of racial equality within the nation.